Okay, it's Sunday, and when I left the house, the Vikings were losing. My mother said they're losing again. We were not impressed. We're not going to get too many more questions answered until I really come to understand what a monad and an oversoul are. I don't understand it. In some of these so-called ascension teachings, there's the idea of what they call a low self and a high self. A low self is what we are day to day. We're ourself. And in these teachings, the high self is a much more experienced version of you. You are all about this lifetime as this body-mind complex. The high self would be what you are that's not here with you. It's the vast library of all your lifetimes. And it's alive and intelligent, and it would seem to you like a separate person, your high self. I'm adding that bit because I'm trying to explain it and see what I get that's going to make sense to me. Because when I think of this idea of there's a high self, and I'm the low self, I think of this high self as a separate person. And the idea is at some point you want to merge with your high self to get all of the benefits of all of the information in it's more wise and more knowledgeable than your low self, which is what I consider me to be right now in this kind of the map of ascension. So in this map, how do you go about merging with this other person that they're calling the high self? And then you have different traditions that give you ideas or techniques on what to do. So I don't know. And then you go and you throw this other ideas at me that there's an oversoul and a monad. And then I'm going, well, what does that relate to when it comes to this idea of higher self? So that's what I'm curious about. If anyone would like to enlighten me on this, please either make a comment and tell us how, or make a video and give us the link. We like it if you use like whiteboards, like if you can explain with diagrams, if that comes to you. I mean, I don't have a whiteboard. I don't carry a whiteboard with me, and I don't even have one at the house. And sometimes I wish I did have one at the house. It's just that at my house, I can't even think of a place to put it. I know if I got an easel style, one that had like, something that could be freestanding. I don't have room for it. The house is full, and I don't have room for more of this stuff. And the truth of the matter is, I haven't been given to go and get one. That's the way that I word things formally as to what I'm doing. Because that's what I've agreed with my spirit friends. That's when we have our discussions on how we want to properly file away our files. We want to know, like, are we using like Dewey Decimal System, or are we using like mind maps? How do you organize your mind? And we just had this thought a moment ago, because when you're a small child at school, they don't teach you about filing cabinets. And I think the first thing you should learn when you're in grade 1, first grade, is filing cabinets. And basically you could go down to the office, the school office, and just go and have the secretary there explain this one. Files and the papers that goes in files, and the files sometimes get grouped into a larger group of files, and then they're put away. You just close the filing cabinet door, and then you could pull out another drawer. And if little kids saw that this is how we organize stuff in the office, maybe they would get the idea, and when they're learning new things, they could put these ideas consciously into their filing cabinet system. Or perhaps I've seen it in Windows, Microsoft Windows operating system. There were file management systems. And that's quite often what they used, is they used a diagram to show you, the different bins of stuff. So if people got this idea that this is how you can organize your mind, perhaps people would operate better. Because I don't know how, little children's minds store information. Do they store it linearly? Do they store it in series? Do they store it in parallel? And maybe all of us humans need some information about how our mind is organized. Because you would organize your office. Why wouldn't you organize your mind? And the filing system that you're using, filing cabinet style, or Dewey Decimal System, or hashtags. How have you organized things formally in your mind? If you answer I don't really know, then this is a good question for you to jot it down and put it on one of those sticky notes, and then put some tape over top of the sticky notes, because long term the sticky notes just don't last that long. And you just want to put it someplace where you're going to see it first thing in the morning. So if you have like a mirror in your bedroom or you like to do your hair, then stick that little note right there with this good question, because you're going to want to remind yourself from time to time that you're looking to get an answer on how is my mind filed, and basically you want to know, is it working well for me, and could it be tuned up so that it works more efficiently.